Hello and welcome to Customer Lockbox. In this lesson, we'll take a look at what Customer Lockbox is and what it offers. Now, if you spent any time as a system engineer, you've probably been involved in situations where you've needed to work with Microsoft engineers to help troubleshoot and fix certain problems. Usually in these situations, those issues get fixed through Microsoft's various telemetry and debugging tools. However, there will always be some cases where a Microsoft engineer is going to need to access the organization's content while troubleshooting an issue. This is where Customer Lockbox comes into play. What Customer Lockbox does is ensure that Microsoft can't access your organization's content during this troubleshooting process without your explicit approval. Essentially, it forces Microsoft to request access, and it inserts you into the approval process. Customer Lockbox supports requests to access data in Exchange Online, OneDrive for Business, and SharePoint Online. The image on your screen shows what this process looks like. The way this works is pretty straightforward. The process kicks off when someone experiences an issue with their Microsoft 365 service. Maybe a mailbox, for example. Once the user has exhausted all of his own troubleshooting and hasn't yet been able to fix the issue, that user opens a support request with Microsoft Support. A Microsoft Support engineer then reviews the support request and determines a need to access the organization's tenant to repair the issue. At this point, the Microsoft Support engineer logs into the Customer Lockbox request tool and makes what's called a data access request. This request includes the organization's tenant name, service request number, and the estimated time the engineer needs access to the data. Once a Microsoft Support manager approves the request, Customer Lockbox sends an email notification about that pending request from Microsoft to the designated approver at the organization. After receiving the request notification, the organization's approver signs into the Microsoft 365 Admin Center and approves the request. This triggers the creation of an audit record in the audit logs. Now, it's important to note that if the approver rejects the request or doesn't approve the request within 12 hours, the request expires and then no access is granted to that Microsoft engineer. Once the approver from the organization approves the request, the Microsoft engineer receives the approval message and then logs into the tenant and fixes the customer's issue. Since the Microsoft engineer originally specified a duration to fix the issue, access is automatically revoked when that time limit expires. So ultimately, Customer Lockbox ensures that while troubleshooting an issue, Microsoft can't access your organization's content without your explicit approval.